I'm Nick Laidlaw, and today we're going to be exploring some different ways of crawling to use your body. So the fact that we're crawling around is a really good expression of connecting ourselves to the ground. It's even better if you can do it outside, but we'll just use what we have today by being inside. But again, we don't really use our hands and our knees and our feet in a way that's connecting to the ground as much as what is ideal for our body. So to go through a series of these today, it's good strengthening exercise. It's very good neurologically as well because we're going to do what's called a contralateral exercise, which means using the upper body with the left hand, the lower body with the right hand. Very good to get us our left and right hemispheres of the brain nice and balanced. It's very good to strengthen our pushing, and it's also a good midsection kind of core exercise. So kind of good on a range of different levels. It's really fun as well, and it makes you kind of out of what the linear approach to normal exercise pulling and pushing generally is. So I'm going to just take you through 3 or 4 different levels of crawling. So we're going to start with the bear crawl. We're just going to have the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Just try and broaden the shoulders. We don't want too much roundness, too much arching either way. Just kind of be in what's a neutral position, and just explore to begin with, crawling with your right hand forward, left knee, right hand, left knee. Just see how that feels, and then engage the same coordination as you go backwards, opposite hand to leg. It's called a contralateral movement. If that feels comfortable enough for you, you can then tuck the toes under, take the knees just an inch off the ground, as low as you can. The higher the knees are and the higher your bum is, the easier this movement's going to be. We're going to keep the movement nice and tight just to engage the right muscles through the shoulder girdle and through the hips. So what we're going to do, draw the navel to the spine with the knees off the ground, opposite hand to leg, and see if you can keep your hips as level as possible. Keep those elbows in nice and close. Want to take about 20 to 30 steps until you start feeling fatigued in this position, and then see if you can test yourself by going backwards. Opposite hand to leg. Keep your hips as level as possible. Just imagine there's a cup of tea balancing on your pelvis as you're doing this movement. Try and get a little bit of spring in your step as well, so it's not too clunky. Use the connective tissue to kind of find that flow. As you understand the exercise more and more, try and find a little bit of flow with it. So then the next stage is just to take a wider step, and we still want to keep the hips as level as possible. So just imagine there's a cup of tea balancing on the pelvis. Obviously it's not going to be perfect straight away, but just do your best. And again, wider stance, so it's going to be involving more muscles through the arms, more muscles through the lower back, and more muscles through the hips. So this is getting towards what's called a reptilian crawl. Right foot, left hand, forwards, still keeping those hips quite level. Lifting the hand off the ground, having the elbows close into the ribs, looking forward the whole time, keeping the navel drawn to the spine, and again, finding that flow to the movement. To advance to the third level, you do more of what looks like a push-up. Push-ups are a pretty overused exercise in the fitness kind of industry, so I try and avoid them as much as possible, but I still want to get that push pattern going in my body because it develops a really nice amount of strength through your shoulders and through your chest. So this version of a push-up is a little different. As we take our opposite hand to leg forward, we want to get the side of the face on the ground. And then backwards is a real challenge. So you have fun with that one. Again, just try and keep the body not too locked or not too tight. It's not linear. So we're going to just be as flexible and malleable as possible with this movement. In the next version, we're going to do what's called a scorpion. So you're going to just practice to begin with what's called a scorpion push-up, which is when you take one foot over. So for me, it's my right foot over, and then I do my face push-up all the way back up. Keeping myself nice and level. Left foot goes over to the right, elbows go in, and then back up. And then what I'm going to do is begin to slowly come forward with my hands Elbows close to the ribs. So, you've got a few things to play around with then. Really test the coordination, test your proprioception and your gross motor skills. There's a lot of internal stuff going on through the shoulders, knees and hips. So enjoy it, don't go beyond the level that feels comfortable with you. When you find a challenging level, stick with that for a few weeks and kind of do it until you get so good at it that it becomes easy, until you can do it for about 3 minutes and then move on.